Governments, business leaders, and development banks have 2 years to take actions to avert far worse climate change, the UN's climate chief said on Wednesday in a speech that warned global warming is slipping down politicians' agendas.
We have 2 years to save the world.
Speaking at an event at the Chatham House think tank in London, Simon Steele, Executive Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, said the next 24 months are essential in saving our planet. Scientists say we must halve climate-damaging greenhouse gas emission by 2030 if we are to stop a rise in temperatures of more than 1.5 degrees Celsius that would unleash more extreme weather and heat. Yet last year, the world's energy-related CO2 emissions increased to a record high. Current commitments to fight climate change would barely cut global emissions at all by 2030. Steele said the group of 20 leading economic powers together, responsible for 80% of global emissions, urgently needed to step up.
We still have a chance to make greenhouse gas emissions tumble with a new generation of national climate plans, but we need these stronger plans now. And while every country must submit a new plan, the reality is G20 emissions are around 80% of global emissions. So G20 leadership must be at the core of the solution. At the spring meetings, we need an ambitious round of replenishment for the World Bank's International Development Association, IDA. Doing so could lift hundreds of millions of people out of poverty and increase clean energy access, especially across Africa. Progress in Washington, D.C. on revising the World Bank's capital requirements could free up billions more for concessional lending without asking donors for more money. Next, to help give countries the fiscal space they need for climate action, the IMF can help more countries deal with debts made worse by climate change and the pandemic. For example, by making more use of the Catastrophe Containment Relief Trust. The World Bank's work on climate-resilient debt clauses, which allow countries facing supercharged storms to focus on recovery, are another welcome step in the right direction.
In a bumper year for elections around the world, with voters going to the polls from India to South Africa and the United States, Steele warned too often climate action was slipping down cabinet agendas.
Everyday finance ministers, CEOs, investors, and climate bankers and development bankers direct trillions of dollars